Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Thomas Tuchscherer. He's the CFO of TripActions to discuss return to travel, the business travel marketplace, and why the market is ripe for disruption. Thomas, it's great to see you. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You got it. Let's talk about TripActions before we get into the business travel market. You went through 2 funding rounds in 2021, the latest of which raised $275 million at a $7.25 billion valuation, which might surprise some people given COVID depressed business travel and caused several of your competitors to consolidate or shut down. Can you tell us a bit about how you were able to increase TripActions value in what was a challenging environment for your space?
Sure. Yeah, no, so I think what COVID did to us is it accentuated the differences between a brand new solution, such as the one that we offer in terms of being able to book your business trips and understanding where your travelers are, understanding and being able to integrate health information in terms of COVID spread into your booking platforms, so that travelers or business travelers can take smart decisions on where they want to travel. So it really accentuated the differences between what existed in the market and what we offered. So that was one. Two, it helped us focus to some extent. So we really focused on a new product launch, which is Liquid, which is a brand new sort of it automates the way people do their T&E expense reports, right? It essentially automates the whole process, and at the same time gives full visibility to the finance team in terms of what their employees are spending the company's money on in real time, right? So that was something that was completely new, and that we launched during the COVID time. So COVID helped us focus on that product launch, and it also helped us focus also on moving upmarket towards the enterprise segment, right? So addressing the needs of more complex, larger companies.
And TripActions, you operate in 3 crowded markets, right? Travel, corporate cards, expense management, but neither has changed very much over the years. Why is the corporate travel market ripe for disruption now?
Yeah, so we're, to your point, I mean, we operate in these 3 markets, and not a single company today operates in those 3 segments, right? So you've got corporate cards, you've got business travel bookings, and then the expense management offering. And what we did is we rebuilt essentially the whole technology stack from the ground up in terms of how you connect to airlines, how you connect to hotels, to how you book travel, to how you actually redo or automate the T&E expense process. And by rebuilding the whole technology stack, we are, and integrating it fully, we're capable of providing insight and value that the existing players couldn't or can't do, right? So for example, we provide real-time visibility in terms of where employees are, what they're spending company money on, whether they're compliant with the T&E policy that's being set by the company. And we do that, using new technology and in real time, and it helps optimize and reduce cost, right, for a company that actually uses our platform, while simultaneously providing a better experience, right, for the traveler.
And what should employers and finance teams be doing differently when it comes to travel and expenses, and not procrastinate like I do when we have to do expenses? It's not everyone's favorite thing to do. Yeah,
so everyone hates doing T&E expense reports, right? Everyone procrastinates it, and strangely, it's been a process that's been existing for decades, and that hasn't been really disrupted, right? So so that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to automate the whole process. We're trying to remove the manual steps that are required to file a T&E expense reports, and automate it through by using corporate cards and software. And there's a natural extension with business travel, right? Because usually you do a T&E expense reports when you're on a trip or after you're on the trip. So by having the context of when an employee travels and where they're going, and it helps automate that T&E expense process, right? So it's very hard for vendors that, for example, only do corporate cards, if they don't have the travel piece, to really automate the whole T&E expense process, right? So by having all 3, we can do things, I think, that other providers cannot.
And I saw that you recently announced an integration with Coinbase. What are some emerging trends for crypto when it comes to travel and expense?
Yeah, so with the rise of crypto, and we're seeing crypto being used in a lot of different being more and more adopted. what we wanted to do is for travelers, right, that had a Coinbase account, that they could choose, right, to get reimbursed some of their T&E expense reports, some of their T&E expenses directly to their Coinbase accounts, right? So to some extent, it helps them convert dollars or whatever currency that they're using their T&E expense reports into cryptocurrencies that Coinbase supports, right? So so it's a neat, it's something that's that's a neat thing, and I think we're going to see crypto being more and more prevalent. So we wanted to get a bit ahead of that.
And what are your predictions for corporate travel in 2022?
Yeah, so I think one, we are seeing it already, but business travel is picking up, and I think one of the key trends that we're going to see more and more is what we call group travel. So imagine teams that have been distributed geographically that haven't seen each other for a long time, getting together perhaps once every 2 months or once a quarter for offsites. So it's being able to automate and facilitate, right, that type of group travel into a travel booking tool, into a travel platform that would take care of the flights, that would take care of the hotels, that would take care of perhaps of conference rooms, all this seamlessly and automatically. So one, I think we'll see a lot more group travel. And two, I think for finance teams, right, there is a need, I think, to have a full broad view of T&E expenses. So not only travel, but also T&E expenses in real time, globally, right? So not only in the US, but also in Europe and in Asia Pac, right? So the need for real-time visibility in terms of where travelers are, what they're spending the company money on, and being able to course correct or change your policies dynamically is something that I think we'll see more and more, and we're sort of offering that and disrupting an industry that I think needs to be disrupted and hasn't been disrupted in a long time.
All right, and Thomas, in the last minute here, tell us what's next for TripActions.
Yeah, so I think for us, we view calendar year 2022, so this new year, really as a year of rebound, right? A year of tremendous growth, especially after 2 years of COVID. I think there's a pent-up demand for people to see each other again physically, to get to know their colleagues that they perhaps have never met, right? And that have been hired over the last 2 years, and to sort of get back to that sort of social connection that I think is so critical in terms of how we do business, right? So we're seeing 2022 as a really strong rebound year for travel, and a year where we're going to continue to disrupt the market with our brand new offering.
All right, Thomas, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thank you.